Alright, so today we're looking at surface area with nets. We're going to hit a couple of the questions on the homework that are probably the most difficult ones on there. So hopefully this will help. This first one I want to look at is number 4, because this is probably the most difficult question on the whole paper. Okay, so we're looking to break this down into its individual shapes. So we see it's got two bases that are triangles, which makes this a triangular prism, which means it's going to have two bases, okay, that are these triangles here that are 3 by 4 by 5. We can draw this one separate, and we can find the area of this. And this part's not so bad. So area of a triangle is 1/2 base times the height. So our base and height have to meet at the right angle. So it's got to be 1/2 of 4 times 3. And this 5 we're not going to use right now. Okay, so half of 4 we can say is 2 times 3 is 6. Okay. And then we can't forget that when we do our final calculations that there are two bases, we're going to have to do 6 times 2 at the end. Okay. Alright, what makes this difficult now is there are 3 rectangles. Okay. But each of those rectangles, one of the sides is always going to be 12. Ugh, it keeps coming up black. Okay. Because this 12 is always the height of the prism from one side to the other. Okay. But the other dimension of it depends on which rectangle it is. So if we were to look at this one on the very bottom, okay, this rectangle is 4 by 12. So 4, 12. We know area of that is base times height, or 4 times 12. And that's going to give us 48 square meters. Okay. But there are no other rectangles exactly like this. Because if we go to the one on the side here, this is 3 by 12. This rectangle here. Okay, so we draw this one out. 3 by 12, so that would have an area. 3 times 12 is 36. And then our last one goes off of the hypotenuse here. So this last dimension is going to be 5 by 12. Yeah, we'll do this one over here. Again, these are not to scale, this is just so we can see the rectangles. So that area would be 60. So what we see here is there are 3 different sized triangles, because on the triangle itself, on the base, each of the sides was different. So for every different side, you're going to get a completely different rectangle. Like the one we did for a warm-up today, 2 of the rectangles were the same because our triangle looked like, let me draw it out here, our triangular base was, if I can remember, I think it had a height of 8, and then this was 6, I think, and then the sides were 10. So since 2 of the sides were the same, we knew 2 of our rectangles that connected to the base had to be the same. But in this example, it's scalene, all the sides are different, so all of our rectangles are going to be different as well. Okay, so our very last step is to add up all of our pieces here. So we've got 48. Ooh, try to color code it here. 48 plus 36 plus 60 plus our 2 triangles. So 6 times 2 is 12. So we're going to add 12. Okay, because there are 2 bases on every prism. We add all this up. 10, 16. Let's do a different color. 10, 13, 15. So it should be, assuming I added correctly, 156 square meters. Okay? And that's it. So you could have done this in a different order, could have added it up in a different order as well, but you should all come up with this same answer. Okay. Alright, this other one, excuse me. We looked at one like this. Yeah, we looked at one like this, but that's alright, we can do it again. So, we can actually draw the net of this. Pyramids are pretty easy to draw the nets to. You draw your base, which in this case it's 4 by 4, so we know this is a square. Right? And then all of our triangles have a height of 6. So we just draw 4 triangles going around the outside here. I hope these weren't the same numbers as the paper we did today. This would be boring. Each of these is 6. But you get the idea. Okay, so square pyramids are nice in that since all the bases of all of our triangles are exactly the same, we don't have to worry about finding each triangle individually because they're all exactly the same dimensions. They all have a base of 4 and a height of 6. It keeps giving me, no matter what color I pick, it gives me something different. Okay, that's fine. So our triangle, so our area is 1/2 base times height. In this case, our base is 4, our height is 6. So half of 4 times 6, so 2 times 6 is 12. Okay, the area of our square, come on, give me green. There you go. Square, just like a rectangle, is just base times height, or 4 times 4, which is 16. Okay, so this is like we were saying in class, you could either do 12 plus 12 plus 12 plus 12 to show our 1, 2, 3, 4 triangles here, and then add 16 at the end. Or we could say 12 times 4 gives us the area of all 4 triangles all together, and then add 16. Whichever is easier for you. I'm going to go with this side though. So 12 times 4 is 48, plus 16 is 64, and that's feet. So this is square feet. Remember, even though it's a three-dimensional shape, we're only looking at what is on the outside. That's what surface area is. Just sort of the opposite of volume, which was saying what's on the inside. So since we're just doing area, it's going to be always square units. Alright, that leaves you to do, I forget which numbers we were doing. I think it was, well, let me check the paper. Come here, you. Alright, you're doing number 1, 3, 4, 6, and 7. And we already did 4 and 7 for you, so that just leaves 1, 3, and 6. So that shouldn't be too hard. Since we didn't get much of a response last time, let's try again. Bonus points for the class that leaves the most comments telling me which class they're in. Alright, have a good night.